gosh. Hey, everybody. What's up?
Hi,
I'm
worm.
with the microphone center for that. Say hi, little baby worm.
Hi, Wormin.
Little baby wormin.
Oh, that's my baby. Hi. Oh, say hi to your friends, Worm.
Doodly doodly. What's up, everybody? Hey, Caitlin. What's up, Liz?
Hey,
Kian.
Caitlin. Hi, Liz.
Constance Gaming.
Hi,
Hey,
Kian.
Constance Gaming. What's up on Twitch?
Hi,
Worm.
guys.
Let's Liz wait. Hi,
Oh,
Worm.
did Liz say hi to the worm? Yeah.
Let her just look up at you. Look on the camera. Just look
Good
up
girl.
at you like a baby.
She's a good
Hey,
girl.
Alona. What's up,
Hi,
Alona? Hi, Alona. How's everybody doing?
Hi.
Hey, doing good, Constance. What's up?
Hey,
Thanks for checking in.
Constance.
So, how's everybody's Saturday going? What's going on out there? Where's everybody tuning in from? Obviously, Alona's in Germany and Kian's over in the UK. Caitlin's in Chicago. Hi, Kiara. Hey, Kiara, what's up?
Hey girl, hey! Kiara, you asked some great questions and they are
I
all
know.
going to be appearing.
So bueno. Muy bueno.
She was like so thoughtful about it. I was like,
Yeah.
nice.
Zooming in on the worm.
Just a tad.
On this beautiful dog. On this beautiful, perfect worm. Mm. She's very sleepy today. Aren't you? You sleepy girl today? You a good dog? There's my
better.
baby right there. There's my
Hey, Colleen is on Constance Gaming. Changing name for streaming soon. Cool, yeah. France here. Hey, Colleen. Colleen in France.
Hi,
What's up, Colleen? On Constance Gaming.
I love it.
Cool.
Good. I know it's hard. It's confusing with people's handles. I'm like, what is it, Liz, that had like a million names?
Oh my
I
god.
was
Yeah,
like-
I know.
I was like, oh my god, Liz, you have a million names. You have to identify yourself to me. Pull those up. I have them on my phone too.
So we have questions that we received from
From you guys.
You guys, and we are going to focus on those today instead of going off pre-written cards and stuff like
Yes,
that.
and pre-discussed. We have not discussed these, so
Correct.
these will be fresh. I don't even think Chase has like seen them because I sent him over. But like, does he look at them? No,
No, most likely not.
and most likely not. Yes, we're gonna be answering your questions today, and Worm's here too.
It's the girl.
It's the girl. It's the
It's the
worm.
doodly dog.
She's very doodly.
Oh, it's my little girl.
What you?
You're
Oh, snaps
beautiful.
the head.
It's my beautiful
She's
girl.
such a cutie. Look at her little blonde
Another little
head.
jealous girl here.
Oh, a little jealous cat.
We also have 2 shots. How horrible is this?
Also, 2 shots
We
of
have 2
Fireball
tiny
to start
Fireball.
this off with. Yeah.
Which is what we're gonna do.
Thanks, Kian. Whoa.
Do we do this now?
Yeah, let's take a swig now.
I
Take half
hate-
now, half later.
I regret.
Hey, we ate food today. Not-
My stomach
unlike last
already
time.
hurts just looking at
Unlike
it. I feel
last time,
nauseous.
we ate food today.
Yeah, unlike last time when I got way too drunk and like definitely overshared, and then we had to edit some stuff out of the video.
This is to you guys, and this is to my little tapeworm over here.
Okay, here we go. Fucking horrible.
It's like hot tamales, cinnamon candies.
It's horrible. It's not good. No, Worm, you can't have any. Look, Worm's interested.
She's like the girl.
No, babe. That's not
What's up,
your
Sylvia Cece?
Hi, Sylvia.
Worm included. Hello, family. Worm included. Yes.
Worm
thank you.
fam.
Shots are ours. You got it. You're right, Kian.
Ugh.
Ha,
Not shots
Kiara.
of that though.
Alcohol, social lubrication, justice.
Social lubrication.
Definitely.
Ugh, that is a nasty. Fireball reminds me of Rocky Horror. Have I ever told you any of
I
those
think you did tell me a
Rocky
little bit
Horror
about that.
Fireball stories?
Would you do a shot and then go on stage? And
Oh
dance?
no, we would do so many shots. I
And then go on
think
stage and
that's the
dance?
first show I've ever been in. You guys, we used to do.
Perform
I used
drunk?
to do an annual rock concert version of Rocky Horror, and it was like standing room only. It was totally packed. We would have hundreds of people in this tiny space, and the whole cast, with the exception of our Rocky, who doesn't drink alcohol, would be totally sober, and the whole cast would be so drunk. And I have never. It was the first time I ever successfully performed a musical that drunk, and people all the time will be like, I don't know if you remember, but we met after Rocky Horror, and I'm like, no idea. So that's what that reminds me of. Gotta wash it down.
I'm trying to think of any times I actually took a shot and went on stage.
Ugh.
Did I even do that filming anything, I wonder? I don't think so. I've never really
I
done
think I
that.
did in the womb.
I've smoked weed before and gone on stage, but that's a totally different thing.
Makes
It's
sense.
like You did the womb. Did we do that? We did. Didn't we all do that or something?
No, you had some at the end of my rap day, but me and Cammie had some wine in our in our scene, the Jenga scene. We just kept drinking and drinking and drinking and improving until eventually, I don't know how he cut around that. Let's see here. Okay.
Do we want to get to some? Do we want to? Yeah. I mean, we were just chatting with you guys to say hello.
We're also going to take live questions. So if any come to you, we have 20 prepared, not prepared, but that have been
20 that we have put onto this piece of paper.
Pre-asked. And then if any live questions come up in the moment, we're happy to answer those too.
So yes, if you have any questions, just put them right here in the chat and we'll see them. In fact, let me put this larger so Tayworm can see it.
So I can actually see it. I ordered new contacts, you guys. They're coming with my new prescription. I'm going to be able to see so well. Can't wait.
You can read this now.
No. But I'd have to lean. I'll lean in.
You're going to. You can't see that?
No. If I squint.
So who thinks Tayworm should get LASIK?
Get LASIK because I'm blind.
I had LASIK. Now I have superhuman, like, cyborg eyes. So there's the chat.
Chase got
so
LASIK and he's
why don't
all
we?
about it.
Do you want to go to question number 1?
Yeah, let's go to question number 1. You're gonna have to read it to me because I am
all right.
blind.
Okay, so here we go, guys. As we begin, question numero uno: what were your initial thoughts on each other when you first met?
I feel as though we have we have answered this.
Yeah, I feel like we have. I thought she was actually kind of bitchy, and it kind of turned me off. And yeah. After the initial encounter, I was a little less interested, I guess, because of the scenario.
I thought he was one of those, like, I don't know, sorry blonde men, but I feel like it's a blonde man thing that think they're like hot shit. And, you know, he came over and was like, "Hey, I'm Chase," and I was just like, ugh, no.
I don't even think I said my name. All I said was, "Wait, can you sing Rent? Do you know Rent?"
I don't remember exactly what you said, but
I said
remember.
Great. I'm pretty sure I walked out. I was like, "Hey, great job singing." I was like, "Do you know Rent?"
No, it was like, "Hey, great job."
No, it wasn't
hair
like
flip.
that.
That's exactly what it was like. Yeah, I was not into it. I did not feel positive about it. But then I don't know. I was reformed, obviously.
Well, then months later, we ran into each other again at a private party in the hills, and it happened.
And by it, he means true love.
Kian says, "Congrats on your modeling."
Kian, thank you. Let me tell you, at 31 years old and at my current weight, I did not think I would be getting mainstream modeling rep, but it goes to show that we are our harshest critics, and to keep going with whatever it is you are interested in doing, because you just might get a lucky break. Oh, and now I can see myself over here a little better. All right. You can also see this little hair I have sticking out back here. What up, little hair?
So you can actually see yourself better. Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
She can barely see any of this because her eyes are so tiny.
blind.
She's got tiny eyes.
Tiny
See how
eyes?
tiny they are?
What?
Just kidding.
I don't have eyeliner on today, so they might look a little more tiny than normal.
All right. Numero dos.
Numero dos.
So how do you deal with each other's OCDs?
I think Liz asked this question. It is a good question. I think
Definitely Kiara.
part of having a relationship is like accepting the other person for like exactly who they are, even though that's really hard sometimes. And I have learned Chase has to translate his OCDs for me from time to time because they don't manifest like mine do. He'll get like really frustrated, and I always think it's about me. Like, I'm convinced everything is always about me. So your little OCDs, like, if you can't get, okay, like before we started today,
What's up,
for
Wolf
example,
Girl?
Hi, Wolf Girl. Before we started today, for example, something was going weird with the stream. He couldn't get something like figured out on Twitch, and he gets like so frustrated, and then I just sit here like paralyzed, like, it's something I did, it's something I did. And what did I say? I was like,
No, you said, I'm not sure what you would like me to do.
And then
I said, I'm not asking you a
to
question.
do.
I'm asking rhetorical questions right now because it's annoying and there are ghosts in the computer.
Right. Chase thinks the computer's haunted. But basically how I deal with his OCDs is by asking about them, because I take most things personally, and if I don't clarify if he's getting fixated on something or upset about something or particular about something, I always think it's because of something I did wrong. So I just have to ask, and I think that's how I deal with yours.
how I deal with Taylor's OCDs. I have learned how not to trigger her OCDs. Mostly, I believe. There are quite a few different things that I could list a couple of funny things. Like there's a bathroom
if you
thing.
want.
There's a bathroom thing, and then there's a leftovers thing. There's a food thing, like a newly arrived food thing, and there's
I know we use OCDs colloquially, but I actually do have the disorder and have been medicated for a long time and treated for a long time. So like Chase's like OCDs are more quirky. I feel like mine are like a little more serious and have broader reaching like implications.
There are, I think, differences between how you like something and then like being
100%.
obsessive about something.
Yes.
When you're obsessive about something, it can definitely change your mood and state of mind for not necessarily the better if it doesn't go the way you need it to. So,
it's very disorienting.
Especially when, if you potentially have been battling a disorder with something, or if you've been dealing with something for a really long time, it's a lot more difficult to have to manage shit like that. So I think it's always great for your partner to learn how to help you with that.
Yeah, I think it's okay to ask questions about it too. I mean, I tend to get embarrassed. I feel very comfortable with my little obsessive and compulsive triggers, like when it happens in front of somebody I'm close to, where I can like explain what's happening to me. I feel very uncomfortable in situations where I feel like that won't be well received, or whatever. So I feel like it's always a good rule of thumb to ask. What?
Liz Wade just said, "I swear, Taylor, you are so similar to my boyfriend, and I am similar to Chase."
I know, we always talk about this. I was
like last time I was the same way.
And I'm like, is Liz's boyfriend just like my long lost sibling
Colleen
that I
Marie.
never knew about? Hi, Colleen.
Gotta go back to work, she said.
It was good to see you, even briefly. So yeah, I feel more comfortable when people just ask me. When I'm not on medication for OCD, I also have a variety of physical tics, including facial tics that can be distracting, a blinking, a neck jerking thing, and a jaw thing. And I just prefer that people ask me about it instead of sitting there wondering what I'm doing, because I can't help it. It's involuntary. And it's noticeable, and so I think people... when people don't ask or are afraid to ask, it makes me uncomfortable, because then I just feel like I'm sitting there doing it and I know they're wondering about it. I don't know if I'm making it. Am I making any sense?
You are. Honestly, I actually had tics when I was younger.
Did you really?
I used to go like breathe weird and used to do this sometimes.
You still have a...
And, no, it's not.
It is.
I'll tell you what that is. Number one, if my throat is not clear, I like to clear it. Number two, if I'm annoyed or get frustrated with something, I'll clear my fucking throat. Because in my mind, a lot of times I'll get frustrated. But then in my mind, what I'm doing is I'm like, okay, they are not understanding me. Let me somehow present it even clearer. So clearing my throat feels like
clarifying.
Maybe I'm not speaking clearly enough. You know what I mean? In my mind. And so I feel like I subconsciously clear my throat to be like, let me try again. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's my mindset with it.
I noticed you doing it.
But hey, back to what I was saying about tics and stuff. I really did when I was younger, and I think it was mostly when I was medicated. Because I used to be on a lot of medication because I was an ADHD kid. Ah, surprise.
Shocking.
Still have ADHD technically. You don't lose it.
You
just
don't
grow.
Right?
You grow up to
mature around
For me, I've learned really to laser vision certain things. So, but I remember having tics and being quite self-conscious about them and stuff.
It's embarrassing.
Because of certain medications, I think, is what really pushed it on. But I'm not medicated like that anymore, so it's not that.
Actually, a lot of ADHD drugs that are based around like amphetamine salts, they can actually cause ticking
what I'm saying.
in children.
I think that when I
ticking.
was medicated is when it was happening the most.
I take for a while actually. I took it. It's an anti-seizure drug that helps with physical ticking, and that helped me a lot. And tics wax and wane, so sometimes they're really bad, sometimes they're not bad. I'm so blind, I can't see.
Okay, you're missing all the little inside stuff.
All the little inside jokes.
Liz, oh my God, Chase, I think our brains are twins. I always clear my throat to clear it or make myself clear.
It's so it doesn't feel like the same impulse for you that you would when you did little kid tics as to because you kind of do it like that.
I'm clearing my throat. A lot of times, if I smoke a big ass bong rip, I've got to clear my throat a lot.
That. Chase is always. It's funny to play the game
says
of
you
like.
Look beautiful.
Aw, thanks, love. It's fun to play the pandemic game of is it COVID or bong rips with Chase because he's always coughing in public. In the beginning of the pandemic, people were like, terrified if you cough in public. I'm like, don't worry, it's the weed. All right, should we move on?
Sure. Kiara also said, seems like you're saying first step is identifying the OCDs in yourself and others. Second step is communicating what's required to live with them together.
Nailed it. There it is. Why doesn't she should just write for like just speak for me. I'll just be like, Kiara, what is the answer to my question? Lay it out for me beautifully.
Liz says, my boyfriend has a weird tick. He can't sit still. His fingers need to always be moving. Think it's a gamer's tick.
That could totally be true. It's a way to like discharge energy.
I definitely have a feeling of
anxiety.
Needing a lot of needing to be working or doing something. I definitely have that problem. Sitting still for myself and like doing nothing but one thing or whatever is difficult for me.
I need to hear something. I listen to a lot of content of other people talking almost constantly.
And you know too, like even for me, like going and we're watching something on TV, like Jeopardy or something, to me it's not even like, oh, I want to play a game while we watch the thing. For me it's like, oh, I don't want to just sit and watch the thing. I can watch the thing and I can get this done too. Mm-hmm. And I can code and get through all these scripts that normally take a really long time. I can just do it right now because we're going to be sitting here for a couple hours. I can do this at the same time and I can pay attention.
True. I don't know if you guys watch Jeopardy, but like since Alex Trebek died, they've been having a series of guest hosts come in. And so like I've always loved Jeopardy. I've watched it my whole life. I used to watch it with my dad when I was little. But it's really exciting because every 2 weeks now it's a completely different vibe. Completely different host, and so we've been watching. I got Chase into Jeopardy in the pandemic. I got him into Dr. Phil, got him into Judge Judy, got him into Judge Marilyn Milian. What else did I get you into?
Everything.
We're still working on the true crime. He's not that into that. But.
Liz says that he can't even sleep still. He kicks, punches, and slaps in his sleep. She gets beat up.
That's hilarious because
Ian also says he relates because he's found it difficult to get any work done in the pandemic.
It's hard.
And then Caitlin just said, hey, I have so many OCD tics. I feel like people look at me like I'm a freak.
You're not a freak. You're not a freak, but I know exactly the feeling
we all
you're
have
talking
tics.
about.
We just said we have tics. I don't think I am a freak.
But in particular, when you have
Judge Judy is the best, Kian just said.
Judge Judy is the shit. In particular, Caitlin, I don't know if this is your experience, but if you have a physical tic, which I have 3 main ones. And it's very obvious that I'm doing it. It's very distracting that I'm doing it. And the more I try to not do it, the worse it gets. And so I do see people looking at me sometimes when I'm talking and I'm like, oh my God, I know what they're thinking. They're thinking, why is she doing that over and over again? And then the more I think it, I do it more and more and more. But before I know it, I'm like blinky, blink, 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 like all day long. Violent, aggressive blinking. And I also have a thing where, this is a common thing for, it's like OCD subtype 2. I was diagnosed with Tourette's originally when I was younger. But Tourette's now only refers to like verbal ticking. It doesn't refer to strictly physical ticking. You have to have a verbal component. So they changed my diagnosis to OCD subtype 2 with tics, right? And one of the, I don't even remember what I was going to say about that. What did I say right before that? I have like 1 shot of alcohol and I'm like lost on it.
I'm not sure.
But, it was something about, yeah, physical ticking when it's really bad, and then knowing people are looking at it, and then being tempted to do it more, or feeling the urge. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. My tics aren't effective for me. It doesn't complete the cycle or finish the urge unless they hurt. Unfortunately, that's another common thing. So I have to blink to the point of hurting myself, or jerk my neck to the point of hurting myself, and that's the only way it satisfies like the urge for that moment. So on top of it, I can't get away with like doing it subtly. Is my point. So like if I'm gonna blink, it's a big ass blink, and I know people are looking, and I know people think it's weird. Then I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. You can think I'm as weird as you want. I can't help it.
I've also gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what? People are gonna just think I'm fucking weird, and I honestly don't give a shit.
Whatever.
Fuck it.
Like
I'm gonna do this shit. I don't care anymore.
Pretty much.
Anyways, número 3.
Yes.
Alright, pregunta de número 3. If you spent weeks apart, what item belonging to your other would you keep close to feel connected?
It's a Kiara question, and it's a good one. What item would I keep close? Okay, I don't know how many people know
I'd
this.
keep my little worm dog.
Oh, no,
my little
it's
worm
mine.
child. I'd keep her close.
My dog.
I'll keep... Am I gonna get to look after her when you're gone, by the way?
Possibly. Yeah, if it's
Lots
time
of
we have
one-on-one
her.
daughter-father time.
Lots of one-on-one time. Okay, so this is something probably people don't know, and it's like a weird thing I've started doing. Anytime I go out in public without Chase, I wear a piece of his clothing. I don't do it on purpose, but I started doing it kind of by accident, and now I still do it. So I always wear something that like belongs to him. In particular, t-shirts. I've been wearing Chase tank tops now for like a year and a half. So I would probably, I will take your clothes with me when I leave at the end of the month and when I'm gone at the beginning of the month as well. I have 2 trips back to back, solo without him. And I will definitely be taking a lot of your clothing. So I hope it's not anything you were planning on wearing, because I'm gonna take it. What's your answer?
The only time I get annoyed with the things that you take is if it's kickboxing shit and I need it for kickboxing. When you like use my wraps or
Which
something.
I do
and I'm like,
consistently.
I'm like, girl.
Over and over
I go
and over.
every day. I go
do
through
it.
these so quickly. It's like, especially when it came to the shirts. I was like, did you wear one of my white shirts? Now I don't have to worry about it anymore.
And I'm like, what?
Because I belted up the yellow.
Chase belted up
now
in
she gets all
kickboxing,
my white. Now
everybody.
she gets all my white. Now you have
Yeah.
like 20 white shirts.
I do have like 20 white shirts.
Now you'll never run out.
But they all smell bad.
No, they don't. These
Yeah, they
ones don't smell bad.
What's your answer to that question? If you had to keep
I did.
something
The little
in mind?
charworm
No,
dog.
that's not a good
That's my
answer.
little girl. She's
no,
my baby
stop.
forever.
That does not count.
I'll take your chapstick with me probably.
To keep you safe.
My chapstick, which you use. The one. Is
Dude,
that pomegranate?
Yeah.
That's the one I always have in my thing upstairs. It probably came from an upstairs.
Are you kidding? Michelle bought this for me. This is
no,
not for
she
you.
bought it for me. And
No,
took
she
it.
bought it for me. This one came in my Easter basket.
Kiara asked, Taylor, is it possible that you wear his shirts to subconsciously feel like you're wearing his armor to help protect your heart?
I think there's a possibility, something in that it's a protective element. I think also, yeah, I do feel safer in it. I do feel more comfortable when I wear your stuff or have your stuff. Also, I can smell, everyone has like a smell, when you're close to somebody, it's like really, like Chase has a very addicting smell to me. And so I really like being able to like smell his little shirt wearing smell that he has. And sometimes, when I'm like wearing it, I'll like catch a little sniff and be like, oh, yeah, I feel good now. I feel better now. So you're gonna take my chapstick and I'm gonna take your clothes.
Yes.
You're gonna try to take my worm. Do you
Yes.
guys please note this? How fucking cute is that?
Look at this little
worm.
baby right here.
Worms.
Little babies.
Doodlies.
What is this shit?
I don't know, that song was bad. Alright, you wanna go in?
Yeah. When you have sex outside the relationship, do you debrief like girls? How was it? Etc. The answer is, I don't think so. No, we don't debrief like girls because it's more of a. Number one, we're never like apart from each other. First of all, so there's not really any debriefing necessary unless something happens that we're both there and we're like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. Like somebody did something embarrassing or something weird maybe, and then we're like, oh my god, do you remember what so and so did? Oh my gosh, like that's happening when we're like, we got to talk about that. Like just recently something happened. We're like, oh my god, I can't. And I thought, I can't wait to get out of here and talk to her
about it.
what was
Yeah.
it, and you brought it up. Just recently something happened like that.
Was it
Similarly,
was it a bad thing?
I don't remember where we were, and we were like, oh my god, that person said something. And we're like, oh my god.
I don't know. Sometimes, I think at the beginning there was more like debriefing like girls when we did more like separate stuff, but
Maybe.
now there's not as much. Yeah, I see whatever it is like going down. Sometimes I'll have like a follow-up question, but I guess we discuss less of the.
We definitely will talk about things if something is.
If something was like weird, or if.
So we've definitely had times where things have not gone perfectly. Okay, so like things do go awry, and we have to adjust and adapt in the moment. And then normally, obviously, we'll then discuss and debrief regarding those things. Honestly, multiple times. So. Most of the time, going through scenarios that require very non-traditional choices and things that are, especially, could be very upsetting to very sensitive people. And we're both very sensitive people, so it's very easy
highly sensitive people.
for something, especially if things are misconstrued or not lack of understanding with something. So
Yeah.
naturally, when it comes to the relationship type that we have, lots of communication is best. So briefing and debriefing happens all the time.
Yeah, I feel like, and I don't know if this is just something that I hear from like the male perspective, but I know like some of your friends and men that you're associated with are like, oh, an open relationship sounds like the best thing ever. You're so lucky. And I'm like, do not get in an open relationship unless you want to talk and talk and talk ad nauseum about every feeling that you've ever had in your life, about moment to moment. So much talking. It's actually really not for the faint of heart in that respect. It's definitely not a free-for-all. So I feel like we're always debriefing, everything all the time. Not just as it relates to physical partnerships, but as it relates to just like the relationship as a whole. I mean, I think we have some kind of... I read something recently. There was like a peer-reviewed study about like longevity of relationships, and it had to do in particular with marriage and like the divorce rate. And it was talking about how if you want to have a relationship that has legs, that really has longevity, you have to have deep and uncomfortable conversations. And I was like, well, we're going to be together for 50,000 years then, because all we do is have deep and uncomfortable conversations. And I think like these little relationship chat things started out, you know, for fun as like a cute Valentine's Day idea, and you guys liked it, and so we kept doing it. But now I almost think of it as a kind of a way to model that very thing, like a way to model deep and uncomfortable conversations, and to do it in public, in front of people. And I think maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I come from a family where there wasn't a lot of talking about your feelings, which is funny because I am just like a walking, breathing feeling. And so is my sister. We're so like, my sister and I are so similar in certain ways. And one of the ways is just like having a lot of feelings all the time. And my parents would listen to our feelings, but I never really saw them express a feeling, if that makes sense. I never really saw... Like, I've seen my mom cry a couple of times. My dad cries now. He's older. He's in his 70s now. He's like tearful, but I never really saw much of that. So I think like having deep emotional conversations was just not something that I, you know, was used to doing growing up, and now we have to do it all the time. So what are you doing?
Asking a question.
Chase texting during our relationship chat.
Don't want to forget. I want to ask a question.
So yeah.
I like hearing your talks. Thanks, Rachel.
Aww.
Yes, Keen, you're right. Communication is key to a strong relationship.
Communication is key, and it's harder to ask questions than it is to answer them, I've noticed. I'm terrified of asking him certain questions because I'm afraid of getting my feelings hurt hearing the answer, but I'll say almost anything. I'll answer almost anything, but it's the posing of the questions that's like scary.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Alona says, I know what you mean, Taylor. My parents are the same way.
So you get it. It's kind of like not a lot of emoting going on. Not talking about feelings. Like, I don't really know much about my parents' relationship at all. I'm not sure how they necessarily feel towards each other. They seem to get along. But I never saw my parents demonstrate physical affection. Nothing like that. It was very, like, private, very, like, professional. They also work together, and they have for, like, 35 years. So they have a very professional kind of like dynamic. So like I definitely never saw them sit down and like unpack the difficult relationship stuff. Who knows if they do that. Like my mom would probably want to murder me for saying this now in front of anybody. Like she'll be like, how dare you spout my business? Like Jesus. Sorry, Mom.
Liz says, my boyfriend has social anxiety with females all his life, so he has the hardest time communicating with me.
I get it. It makes sense. And you guys have been together for a long time. Like it's still like...
Liz says I'm the complete opposite.
It's hard. I know, I'm such a... Oh my God. I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. And here I'm like meeting strangers, like oversharing. And people are like, oh, yikes.
Kiara says, oh yeah, I saw your mom on TV, Taylor. She's pretty.
You saw her? Did you see? Oh my God, you guys. I should tell you about that at some point. Yes, my mom is very pretty, very skinny. The bane of my friggin' existence. I was over there a few weeks back and like, I tried to borrow a pair of her sweatpants and it like pulled up to my knee and I was like, I hate you. I was like, how dare you be 60 years old and be thinner than me? I hate you. But yeah, I'll tell you guys the whole thing involving my parents, and they're all over the news right now, and there's this crazy, if you like true crime, we'll have to talk about this at the end if we have time. Okay. All right.
All right, next question.
Oh, yes.
What's the silliest disagreement you've had?
It's been coming up a lot recently, you guys. It has to do with what's worse, snoring or sleep talking.
Yeah, I think the silliest...
As a distraction.
We just had a argument 2 nights ago where I'm an asshole because I sleep talk a lot. I say all kinds of stuff in my sleep, and half the time
mean.
I don't really know or remember much. Sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll even wake up in the middle of it and be quite disoriented and annoyed at
And then
myself,
he's like mad
and
at
just
me.
that I'm tired and cranky because I woke up out of a deep sleep. So I think recently recently we just had a disagreement because I woke up and was sleep talking and I was a dick a few times and she was like, well, fuck you or something, whatever.
I was so pissed and he was like, what are you doing awake? And I was like, you want to know why? Because every time I fucking fall asleep, you start screaming about Curtis and your video games. He always talks about his friend Curtis in his sleep.
It.
It's so funny.
What's up, Jay? Jay says, I think this is the way I see relationships evolving in the future and this is a good thing.
Oh, I love that.
Me too. Yep.
Yeah, I love that comment.
I agree. Thanks, Jay.
You.
Yeah, and so, you know...
Chase is always talking about video games in his sleep, and for some reason that always seems to involve his friend Curtis, and I'm like, I don't know why, but it's just like the name that keeps getting said aloud. It's so hilarious.
Don't let Curtis hear you say that.
I know, Curtis will hold it over your head. I hope he's watching. I hope he finds out.
I'm surprised he hasn't popped in yet.
I hope he finds out.
He will pop in probably later.
Your deep dark secret, which is that like,
now I know. Now I know Achilles has the... There's Odie. Odie's gonna... Odie says, I can have a full conversation with my girlfriend in my sleep and make plans with her, and when we wake up, she gets mad because I have no idea what is going on.
That's the best. Yeah, I would also be pissed.
Odie, I say the same thing. In the beginning, don't try, like, if I'm tired, no, we're not having conversations, deep conversations about shit.
Funny. I would be so pissed if you made a plan with me, and then in the morning you're like, what are you talking about? I never made that plan. I would be like, ah! That's amazing.
All right.
So yeah, we've been fighting about sleep talking a lot lately.
Caitlin says she can't picture us ever arguing.
Oh my
That's
god,
funny.
Caitlin. Oh my god. Talk about two people that are really interested in being right and then put them together in a small space during a global pandemic and just like light the match. Let it. We argue a fair amount.
Thanks, Kian. Says, I love how honest and open you both are. It's so refreshing and inspiring. This is the kind of openness I hope to have someday with a partner.
You will. You're an open-hearted person.
Thanks for the subscription, Odie. Thanks for the second subscription. Thank you.
I'm dying over the Odie
nice.
girlfriend making plans thing. This is my favorite story ever in the world. That's so amazing.
Kiara says, haha, does he also use his hands like they're on a controller keyboard during those dreams? That would be fun.
Okay, no, Kiara, what he does do is he reaches, it's the same thing. He sits up and he reaches towards the fan. And then I say, put your arm down, honey. Put your arm down, honey. You're gonna hit the fan. He's like, no, I'm fucking not. I'm not asleep. He gets all mad at me, but he's asleep. And I'm like, yes, you are. And then he'll be like, no, I'm not. See, I just went up and went to the bathroom. Still asleep, okay? And then he'll be like, then the other night, what really set me off was like, after he was already being a dick like a million times, then he was like, can you slide over a little bit? And I was like, sure. And he was like, see, I'm awake just like I was before when I asked for that. So I'm here I am awake again. And I was like, get up, get out. And he went downstairs. And then I was lonely. But I was so mad. But yeah, he goes to reach. He doesn't do keyboard hands, but he does go to reach for the fan. Oh, and then lately you've been thinking, because we did have an earthquake kind of recently that he actually didn't wake up for, and he's a light sleeper, so I was like, earthquake, you know. So now in your sleep a few times you've been like, is it an earthquake? And I'm like, no, it's okay. You're just sleeping.
No, I remember waking up recently being like, was that an earthquake? Thought I felt shaking.
That was the time you were awake.
It's probably just you and the worm moving around over there playing when you should be sleeping.
I have a hard time going to sleep, so I play solitaire on my phone. It's basically turned into like a part-time job because I actually make a fair amount of money doing it. Kiara knows what's up. She knows what I'm talking about. But so I stay up like for hours playing solitaire, and then that's when Chase is falling asleep, so that's when he'll call out and say things. And so lately he's been thinking that things are earthquakes when they are not.
Kiara, the fan is on the ceiling, so we can't move it further away.
I know, it's on, and it makes me so nervous because I'm like, I know that a fan realistically isn't gonna like cut his hand off, but of course in my mind that's what I'm worried about happening. But yeah, you always reach for the fan. I wonder what you think it is when you're asleep. I wonder what your brain is telling you it is.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Next?
Yeah. Oh, I smelled a little worm smell.
Have you ever found yourselves following a romance trope? For example, Taylor falls, Chase catches, giggles ensue.
I feel like yes.
What is it?
I feel like what is it? But I feel like it's. I feel like I felt that in the moment and been like, oh my god, we're so gross. We do a lot of spontaneous dancing, which I feel like is tropey.
Yeah, there are moments where we'll do little dances and stuff, right?
We dance like a lot more. I was thinking about it the other day, like about how much, like the other night, was something playing or was, I don't even remember, but I was sitting like on one side of the bed and he was standing and we were like, The same dancing too. It's like weird, like spastic dancing.
Funny dancing.
A little wild dancing. Yeah. Sorry, Werman. Okay, she didn't wake up. And then also slow dancing sometimes too.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is very romance tropey. Like I will be like in the kitchen or whatever and start dancing. Sometimes we'll do a whole song.
I feel like I get really protective over you sometimes. And maybe.
Oh, that's a good one. Like in what? Oh, like when you went in the street and... Would you guys like a charming anecdote? It has bad language in it. I'll bleep out the really bad word.
You should give them let them know what's happening, like an outline of everything.
Okay,
just tell them what
so let me lay it out for you guys. I was walking the worm a few weeks back in my pajamas. Chase was streaming in the mornings. He streams most mornings around, and he usually starts around the time that I wake up, and then I take Worm out and we go for a walk by ourselves. So Worm and I are out. I'm wearing my pajamas like in the middle of the street, and Worm was having, sorry, this is the gross part. I hate any kind of like toilet talk, so sorry in advance. So Worm was having like stomach issues, and she was basically having like diarrhea. So she does this thing where she squats and goes to the bathroom a little bit, and then she hops a few feet, and then she squats and goes again, and then she hops a few feet, and then squats and goes again. So I had a bag on my hand. We're out like around like the corner of the block on this shitty patch of grass, and literally shitty. And I have the bag on my hand, and as Worm was hopping, I was just like taking a step to my right with her. Taking a step to my right, taking a step to my right. And apparently a man was like hiding behind a fucking bush watching me. An older man, probably in his like mid-60s, white hair, balding on top, weird scientist hair. And he starts screaming at me, and he goes, "Clean up after your dog, you stupid fucking bitch!" And then he goes, "You stupid fucking C-word." And I was like stunned, and I was like, "She's still going, you fucking psychopath," is what I said back to him. He's yelling and screaming. He's about 10 feet away from me. He wasn't in my face or anything, but he was just, going ballistic. And I was a little like frozen about it, and I had the dog on the thing, and anyway, I just kind of ran around the corner. And I came back to the apartment, and I was upset, and I came in and he was streaming, and I was like, "Can you pause, please?" And I told him what happened. And Chase goes, "Where was it?" "Around the corner." And he was like, "Hold on, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the stream. I'll be right back." So he's like, "Where is he?" So we walk around the corner. I show him the building, like where it happened, where the guy was hiding out in front of. And then you want to tell him what you did?
No, you tell him.
So Chase gets in the middle of the street. He literally backs out into the middle of the street. I'm not exaggerating. Like in the middle of the road. And he like screams up at this apartment complex, and he's like, "Well, the short, what did you say? Like the short, old, balding man that just verbally assaulted my girlfriend, get the fuck down here. I want to talk to you." And he's like screaming at the building, and I was like, damn, like that's brave. So he's like screaming. A woman gets on her phone. She's like, "I don't think the guy lives here." Anyway, this whole thing has ensued. We've done some investigating in the neighborhood with the help of our neighbor. We found the guy. We found where he lives. So Chase is still waiting to talk to him. Now, to be clear, he's not going to harm him in any way, but the guy deserves repercussions for speaking to people like that. You don't approach women in the street, strange men.
You wouldn't have done it if I were standing there next to you.
Of course not. And that's the thing.
So, it's like you think you can prey on a girl alone. That's the mentality. And that's what I have a problem with.
But it was definitely...
If I were there, he wouldn't have done it. I wasn't there, he did it. She was a lone, single girl, and she couldn't defend herself or anything in the sense of at least...
In my pajamas.
In his brain, again, he would not have done that if I were standing next to her.
So
if he had, it would not have
gone well.
No.
No.
It would not have gone well.
But it was a very, like, romance trope moment in the sense of, like, him standing in the street being like, "Get down here!" Like... Yeah, but it was crazy, and like I froze a little bit, as I tend to do in a somewhat upsetting or low-key traumatizing situation, because it's like I still don't know how to deal with like rage from people, rage in particular from men coming at me. I don't know what to do, and so I froze a little bit, and I would love to get a second chance, just be like, "The way you spoke to me was unacceptable," but he's gonna go with me and have a talking to first. and we're gonna demand an apology.
Yeah,
And this
yeah.
was like 3 weeks ago, and we're like hunting this guy actively. We figured out where he lives. My neighbor's been like taking pictures of every balding man on the fucking street.
Liz Wade says, "Wow, Chase, you just got even more sexy from that story." Thanks,
Right?
Liz.
That's what I said too. I was like, wow. Like, somebody else yelled at me too in like 2012 if you want to go get them too. So that felt romance tropey. But I felt very good because I felt very stood up for. And it's nice sometimes. Like, it's nice to be stood up for. And I appreciate that. Thank
El
you.
gusto es mío. Señorita.
Señorita. All right. Any more?
Of course, there's quite a few more.
No, I meant romance tropes.
No, I think that's it, I guess.
Okay.
Kiara says, "Oh my god, okay, more people who can defend themselves should shut down crappy people like that. I used to do that when I was younger and still able-bodied, but no one has ever done anything like that for me." And
Yeah,
Liz
no one had really ever done anything like that for me either.
Liz Wade then says, "My boyfriend would never have the balls to do anything like that. I'm more like Chase, lol." Yeah, Liz, you go out and yell at that
Yeah,
building
Liz,
for him,
I feel
wouldn't
like you would be.
You
Yeah,
would.
I feel like you'd be in the street like, who the fuck talked to my boyfriend that way? That's so
Yes,
good.
Kian. Kian says, "So sweet that a horrible incident has such a sweet ending."
That's very true. That's
yeah,
very
Liz
true.
says, "I'm the one who would scream for the guy to show his face."
Yeah, I can totally see that. That's why I'm basically relying on Liz to bodyguard me at conventions. Like, I'm just saying. I was like,
Fearless.
we talked about that one time. I was like, because you guys, when I was getting all like the death threats from whoever was death threatening me for dating Chase, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm scared to go to conventions. Like, what if that person's there? And he's like, are you kidding? Do you have any idea how like Liz Wade,
Yeah.
Alex, and a bunch of people would fucking go insane on somebody that tried
Yeah,
to like
they'd
speak to
tear 'em
you the
apart.
wrong way? And yes, I believe the word you used was scrappy. Did you just drink my shot?
You had a long time to drink this. You've been avoiding it, so I took care of it for you.
Wow, look at that. Romance.
What do they say? You snooze, you lose.
I guess they do say that.
Liz says, "Yes, Taylor, don't worry, I'll kick ass for you."
I know you will.
Thanks, Liz.
I know you will. I feel like, oh, we had a little sniff fest going on here.
They've been
Did
sweet
you
to
see that?
they've been sweet to each other recently.
Worm really wants
To play.
a friend, you guys, but nobody really likes her. It's sad.
Yes, Stevie.
Sad for my baby.
All right, next question is, what motivates a couple to stay together other than sex? Honestly, don't know. I'm really only in this for the sex. So
I only show up here for the sex.
in the beginning, that's all it was, but then it morphed into feelings.
Very surprisingly,
Yeah.
morphed into feelings. My percentage of morphing into feelings for people is about 0. So that is a good question, and I don't know for couples in general. I guess we can only speak to our own experience. What keeps us together? Probably like aside from the sex part, like the friendship part of it. I said the other day we were talking, we were like out for a walk, and I was like, "Do you think people have as much fun as we do, like together?" And he was like, "I don't know," and I was like, "I hope they do." I don't know, because we have a lot of fun. We get along really well. We have like similar kind of like personalities. We enjoy a lot of the same like activities, and we have fun. You know, we like to talk to each other, and so I think that's the big thing about it.
It's
is,
helpful
like, the
that we
friendship.
enjoy very similar things. We don't enjoy everything together.
I
We
don't
don't
enjoy
have
gaming.
everything in common together, but we do have things in common together. You know, and so that does help. There are bridges and crossovers for things we can enjoy together, you know? So that is always helpful.
You know, something I would say that is occurring to me in this moment when I was thinking about like what are the things, it's not so much the same activities we like to do, but I think I get really excited about stuff. I've always been that way. Excited about holidays, excited about, you know, dressing up in something, excited in a childlike way about a lot of different stuff. A lot of men don't share that trait because I think people think of it as an inherently feminine trait, which it's not, but you do, and you also get really excited about shit. So we don't have to get excited about the same things necessarily, but I think a big part is like our mutual shared sense of like wonder and excitement about things. Like the other night, like I booked, there's a live Van Gogh exhibit that's coming to LA, and it's like almost already sold out. I got tickets for the day before my birthday, which is in December, and I booked this like 2 weeks ago, so that'll give you an idea. But you sit under Starry Night and they project it. So it's basically like you are in the middle of the city, and you can see all the lights above you and around you. And I was looking at the advertisement, and it just looked amazing. And I just got so fucking excited. I was like up for some reason in the morning. I don't know why I was up at like 5 in the morning. Probably couldn't sleep, whatever, anxious person. And I was getting so excited. I was like shaking almost about it as I go to like book these tickets. So I booked them for us, and then you were like down here doing something, and I sent them to you on WhatsApp, and I was like, just go exhibit. I'm so excited. And he was like, oh my God, that's gonna be so great. Are you so excited? I was like, I'm so excited, you know, and you like feed into it. So I think you understand excitement, and it makes me feel like you get it. It makes me feel like you get me. And so I think like a shared sense of excitement might be something that keeps us
Definitely.
together.
Sylvia CC says, my boyfriend was and is my best friend, and we've been together for almost 21 years now. Liz said, my boyfriend doesn't ever get excited about anything but video games, food, and movies. Dull. I'm the adventurous one and always ready to have fun.
I love
Kian
food,
says,
I get
oh my
it.
God, Van Gogh is such an amazing artist. I'm excited just hearing you talk. I would love to so much history and symbolism in his work.
Kian, it might come through Ireland. You might have to see if it, because I think they are on an international tour of this particular exhibit. Of course, I'm sure you'd have to be in a major city to see it, but yeah, I'm so freaking excited. And I just love, like, because I've dated people that would, like, shut me down. They'd be like, why do you give a shit? It's just a fucking museum, you know, or whatever. And I love, you never do that to me, even if you think the activity is stupid. Not that you thought this activity was stupid, but, like, even if Chase is like, I don't get why you would ever want to do that, he's never like, why would you do that? Like, that's not fun. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? You never, like, shut me down in that way. You don't really shut me down ever. Thanks.
El gusto es mío.
Oh my God, no more Spanish.
Next question. Preguntas. How did you meet? We already talked. The first spot we met was karaoke.
Karaoke.
Light my candle, rent. And
Which
then
there's a video of.
Yeah.
If you
should post
comment
it.
if you guys want to see
Should
it,
post
because
it.
it's pretty fucking
Should
funny.
post the video.
I look so uncomfortable. I am
For our
so
next
stiff
anniversary,
outside.
we should post that video.
That'd be fun.
To 3 years ago, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This video.
3 years of
And
that.
post it
or
every
whatever.
year.
We could post it on our actual.
Keep posting it
anniversary.
every year.
Every year, just torture people. With my, like,
Why is that torture?
we're mostly on pitch. That's why it's a little torturous. We were drunk.
Kian says, I studied art history in my last years of high school, so I love going to museums and art galleries.
I love art history.
Liz
too,
says,
so
yes, we
much.
want to see it.
Yes. I'll have to
Definitely.
play it. What was the question? I already forgot.
So next
Oh,
question is, how did you meet?
Yes.
Well, the first time we met was at karaoke. We sang Light My Candle. And then we lost touch, did not really get along, wasn't feeling it. And then we ran into each other again a few months later at a private event party up in the hills, at a house party in the hills.
And I was like, oh my God, there's that guy again.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then you gave me your number at the end of that night, and then you invited me over the next day. And that was my first time coming over here, and that was like almost 2 years ago.
What's the sexiest thing you've seen each other do? Was it me yelling at that building for you? I keep remembering because I remember how you reacted as soon as I did it, and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm
sexy." I was gonna take that question in a really different direction, actually.
What is it?"
I'm trying to. Okay, let me think. There's a lot of things. There's been a couple of things where I was like, "Oh yeah, what's up?" Oh my God, my hair's so tangled. Yikes, need to brush it. There have been a couple things where I was like, "Oh my God, what's your answer for me?" Give me time to think about it. This is a good question, and it's like hard to answer. We'll just dance in the meantime.
The sexiest thing I've ever seen my boyfriend do is domestic house chores.
That's
Liz
fucking
Wade.
hilarious. Have you seen that book, Liz? It's like woman porn, and it's just a bunch of like hot shirtless dudes like doing housework. That's like what the whole book is. It's just like a hot guy like scrubbing the toilet.
That's funny.
Sexiest thing I've ever seen you do, in a sex context or outside of?
What is the sexiest thing you've seen each other do? It can be anything you want. As long
I've
as
seen
it's
him
sexy
do.
to
I've
you.
seen him do a lot of sexy things. I've seen him do a lot of things that I was like, ooh, mine. Why can't I think of an answer to this question? There's just a lot of things. I can't narrow it down.
Liz says, I need that book.
It's so funny. It's just like jacked dudes with like arm veins, like cleaning shit.
Veins. Anyways, there you go. Next pregunta.
We did not answer that question. I think one of the sexier things I've ever seen you do is I had a friend who had gone through like a really bad breakup. This is the kind of friend I am, okay? And I was like, listen, you should just come hook up with my boyfriend because it's a really great experience. and I would recommend it. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, like, get it done right for you, dude. Give you hope for like the rest of your sex life out in the world. And the way you handled that was really sexy. How about that?
So? Tell me more.
Oh my God, stop. You're so, oh my God. It was just, you were pulling out all the best moves, and you were being like very nice to her and like very consent based, and you were like being very like loving towards her, and you were like taking care of her because she was my friend. And I thought that was hot.
I like it.
Now you have to answer for real.
All right. You do sexy things every day. I like when you put on your makeup. I like whenever you're naked in the shower. It's everything. You know, when I like when you're dancing with the worm. Like, it's just everything sexy.
It's sexy when I dance with the worm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll accept those answers.
Yes.
I'll accept those answers.
When have you been the most jealous? One of the times I recall was one of her friends, Andrew. Back in the beginning of our relationship, I saw her post I think it was a feed post of her and Andrew in matching pajamas with her dog, and I had already been hanging out with her for a little bit, and I was like, "What the fuck? Is she trying to like? Who's this guy with these matching pajamas with the dog? Like, what's this?" I got jealous.
I love that so much. Yeah, me and my friend Andrew went to Target one night, and we were like, "Let's just fucking get matching pajamas." And then we got Chai a pair of matching pajamas, and then we took a picture of us all hanging out watching TV in the pajamas, and it made Chase jealous, and I sort of loved it. I've been jealous a lot, but one particular moment that like stands out in my mind that I got really like jealous about and like upset about, and I think I said it to you too. I think I was like, I'm feeling really upset about that right now. Do you remember the perfume conversation?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
This is so stupid. I sound like such a petty bitch saying this now, but like in the moment, I really did not like it. We were like out for a walk. We like had our little Starbucks and like we're out walking. And a woman walked by and was wearing perfume, and Chase said, "Oh, do you ever like wear perfume?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Oh, I think perfume's really sexy." And I was like so jealous over nothing.
It's crazy how you misremember. That's not.
That's exactly what happened. You were just making a comment in general
I knew the
that
name
you think
because I knew the name
is
of the
sexy.
perfume, and I said there's a specific perfume that has. I have sense memory for it of a specific person back in college, and I like that perfume because of that.
Oh,
Not because I am attracted or still into that human being. I don't even know who or where or what is going on with her.
No, but you did say
but
no,
that
you said
perfume
something to
I
the
still
effect
like.
of like,
And so I'm like sometimes
perfume
I
is,
like
sexy.
perfume. And what you said is I don't like perfume because I don't like how it covers up natural scent, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I like natural scent too, but sometimes I like perfume. And you're like, I don't like perfume.
But
so we
I don't know
disagreed
why.
on it.
I don't know
and
why
I think
that,
you
like,
got jealous
got
because
me.
I liked perfume. And it was probably because it stemmed from the girl that passed on top of me probably bringing up the experience I had.
I don't even
because
remember
of
that. I just remember me being like, I don't wear perfume, and you being like, I think wearing perfume is sexy sometimes, and me feeling like really threatened by that, like out of nowhere, which is such a funny thing because I feel like that's how my jealousy is weird. Like I can watch him have sex with another woman and feel fine about it, but like when he likes girls' photos on Instagram, I don't like it at all. It makes me feel very jealous and uncomfortable. Like, what is that? You know what I mean? It's just sort of like irrational, I guess, but it's how I feel.
A candle somewhere?
No?
Oh, we should have. I thought I just got a whiff of it, but it was probably my deodorant.
It was probably your deodorant. It smells absolutely delicious. I don't know. I don't like it.
No vocals. Shut up.
It was like somebody that brings everything to the table. But yeah, anyway, how this perfume thing fucking upset me, I do not know, but it did, and I did not like it.
Liz Wade says, I used to be jealous in the beginning with my boyfriend, but now I can care less. LOL. No female would want to deal with what I put up with. LOL.
You are so sad.
Kiara then asks, does being in your open-esque relationship as it is now assuage your
Assuage.
jealousy or highlight it?
It depends, Kiara. That's a great question. It depends, and it always has to do with like how I'm feeling about myself and the relationship. Like, if I'm feeling really good about myself that day and really confident in the relationship, it assuages it. If I'm not feeling that way, it amplifies it. And there are also certain things, I think I get more affected by words than I do by physical action, and that's the truth in general. My primary love language is words of affirmation. So Sometimes if he says something about another person, that can really bother me more than the actual action of it. But it really depends on the day. Does an open relationship make you feel less jealous or more jealous? Or does it depend also?
I think I feel like in a monogamous relationship, there are more things there's so many more assumptions, there's so many more closed doors, that there's so many more things that could occur that double crosses you. So many more things that could occur that cross the boundary. While I feel like you can still cross so many boundaries in an open relationship, it's so much more open that you have to trust them more. And therefore, I don't know, I'm trying to phrase it to a sense of...
I think the monster you don't see is worse than the monster you do. You know,
Yeah.
I think
the unknown that bothers
secret
people the
shit is where
Yeah.
I cannot with any secret shit at all.
most. Yeah.
And I am very cognizant about getting embarrassed in front of people. I really make Chase modulate his behavior around other people because I don't want people looking at me thinking like, oh my god, his poor girlfriend, he's all over that other girl if he only knew. And I also came from my last relationship that was really traumatic. Something that person would do is he would is a narcissist, okay, and he would we'd be like at a dinner or something, and he would sit not by me, he would sit by another woman, and he'd be talking to her like that, all in her face and this and that, like the whole night. And then when I would say that made me really uncomfortable, he'd be like, you are so fucking pathetic, you are so fucking insecure, you are so fucking whatever. So now my tolerance for like the way that things appear is really, really low. I don't want Chase giving out his phone number to women. I don't care who you are. I don't want him giving, like, you know what I mean? Like, in any kind of, obviously, like, friends are different, but like, that would really, really trigger me, whereas, like, some sneaky behind my back phone number exchange would trigger me way more than him being like, I think this girl is hot and we should try to have sex. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a different thing for me. Anything that seems sneaky is a really big trigger for me, and I'm very cognizant of how it comes off to people, because I think a lot of times people think an open relationship is a free-for-all or something.
Everybody thinks that. Every
And they
single
don't
guy
respect
I've ever
me.
told, they're like, oh my god, bro,
You're
it's so
so
cool.
lucky, you bring
So
so
you
many
fuck all
chicks."
these chicks and all that? I'm like,
No.
okay, just so
No.
you understand, this is not just do whatever the fuck you want, anything goes everywhere all the time. No.
That's not like that. And I think, like, yeah, like, for me, I think, like, a lot of, and I've noticed it a lot from women, which is really disheartening, really disrespectful of the hierarchy that exists, because, like, as his girlfriend and the person that lives with him and the person that spends every day with him, like, a lot of girls will try to do this thing where they pee on his leg, essentially, and it's like, me and Chase are just really close. I mean,
We have a complicated relationship.
we have a complicated relationship.
It's really complicated.
We had so much chemistry in the beginning. I shouldn't say more.
Obviously.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
fuck
together right
yourself.
now.
Yeah,
That's how great it
exactly.
was.
I cannot
Look how
stand
much that lasted.
And I'm like, please don't give any ammunition to that. Like, no secret conversations. No, girls will send
I
him.
would never
nudes.
say that to my fucking face.
Right. Exactly. Because
Never.
it's not true. And,
Exactly.
And women will send, naked photos to him on Instagram, for example. And what I've asked him to say is like, hey, are you cool if I show this to my girlfriend? And watch that dry up real fucking quick. Because people still kind of try that. And that feels very disrespectful. And like, guys do it too, Or what I hear a lot is like, oh, let me know as soon as you break up with your boyfriend. Bye. Dead to me. Like, as soon as someone says that, I'm just like, oh, you're gross. And you, like, don't respect the relationship. And anyone that, like, I would be physically intimate with, like, respects and honors my relationship and knows their place.
Yes.
And if there's any sort of trying to be possessive or anything like that, nope, you're gone. You will be gone.
Hey, Rachel. What's up, girl? What's up, Rachel?
Which Rachel?
Rachel from the UK, Rachel.
Hi.
Rachel Farge and Rachel
Yes, I was like, we have Rachel
Emma
Mills and we have
Hayes.
Rachel Emma.
is here.
Aw, the babies.
Alona
what
also
are people
says,
saying?
do your parents know that you have an open-esque relationship?
Oh, that's a good question.
My parents do, yes.
My parents might know. I've never said that, ever.
Why would they know then?
Things on the internet. Comments made.
I doubt your dad goes and reads comments on the internet about our relationship. I highly
My
doubt
dad,
it.
but my
Now,
mom
your
watches.
might.
My
Your
mom
might.
watches things that I do. My mom's really supportive. She likes to see the work I do, even things like this she might watch. But I try to tell her, like, don't watch that. Don't watch today's post, whatever. You're not gonna like it. No, I don't think there's a lot of information about my sexuality and sex life that I just do not feel comfortable even vaguely referencing in front of my parents. Like, My sister was always more open with our parents about that kind of stuff, and I'm so funny because I'm such an open book, but with my parents, I'm like, you can know only about very conservative things about my life. It feels embarrassing. But Chase's parents, no.
They know.
They don't obviously pry.
They
but
knew long before you with my other relationships and stuff. So when I informed them of our relationship, I made it clear. I want them to know exactly the kind of relationship that I'm in and what I believe in. That I want my parents to know who I am, and they do. And they accept it, and they always have, thankfully. I've had great parents. I'm thankful to have had a great family.
That is nice.
Rachel says, love your worms, but for real, Tay, let's run away together, yeah?
Yeah, let's run away together. We're gonna go frolic in the beautiful snow-covered lands of the UK, and then we'll come, here when we're tired of the snow.
All right, next question is, are you ever going to get married? The answer is probably, maybe one day, whenever we can pay for it ourselves. When we have plenty of money and plenty of time.
We have money.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's nothing that's going to change what happens right now. Nothing's going to be different. We're just going to spend a lot of money and go do a big celebration. When right now, I don't think we should be doing that.
No, I want to
Not the
party.
time to be
I
doing
really, that's like...
Nothing's going to change, so...
I didn't think I ever wanted to get married. I was pretty put off by the idea, but now I want to have like the experience of like a wedding with you because I think that'd be fun, and that makes me want to get married. I do want to be able to pay for my own wedding because I don't want to be guilted for like, why do you have to have a dress that's that expensive? Or like, why do you have to have blah, 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 XYZ. Like, I just want to be able to like buy it. We'll get married when we have money. And yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what would change about our relationship. When people ask me, because people say your husband a lot, people that like don't know us very well. Like I was working with a photographer a weekend ago, and he was like, "Oh, so do you and your husband?" And people just kind of assume that, and I don't correct. But he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, is it a boyfriend, fiance?" And I was like, he was like, "Are you married?" And I was like, "Not legally, but basically." Like I don't really know what would change, except we wear a ring on this finger instead of this one, So I don't know, but I definitely want a wedding because I want a party that's all about us, and I want to wear a pretty dress. Maybe Kian will style me, and I want all my friends and family, and I just really want a party. And my sister's getting married, and it sounds fun as fuck. Like all the plans and stuff, and like getting my dress, and like hearing about like her picking the venue and all the stuff. I'm like, Maddie's making me want to get married because she's also like the opposite of a bridezilla, and she's like really chill, and she just is like, yeah, it'd be cool to have that venue. Let's see if we can try to get it. Like she's just like so chill. I'm like, that would be fun.
She's not a bridezilla.
No, she's not at all. She's like the opposite.
All right. Next question.
Next question.
Are you going to have children? Taylor used to be against children.
I was against children.
Yes, I've always wanted to have kids. Do I want kids now? Absolutely fucking not. Nope, not ready right now, and will not have them right now. I will have them later when I have plenty of money and I am not concerned for my own well-being and financial security. I will then have a child who doesn't have to be, involved with that bullshit.
One child. I'm like, you can have one.
I don't know about that.
That's all you're fucking getting out of me.
I don't know about that either, but yeah. I don't know about that either.
And it better be a girl for my own sake. Just like, I don't know if I have the energy.
Taylor didn't want children in the beginning, but now she's gonna.
I did not want children, but that was kind of
as many as we agree on later in our life when we're both ready. Might not be just one.
Yeah, I was.
We need a boy and a girl.
One girl.
No, we need a boy and a girl.
We
need a boy, a girl, and then a trans
person.
A trans person. That's who we need. Who is
we
a they.
do. Yes.
Who is a they.
No, that would be better. Okay, not a trans person. How about a non-binary person so we can have the full
A
spectrum?
non-binary person who is a they. So then
would
we
be
have
more well-adjusted.
Then we have everybody. Everybody's involved.
There's something so cool. We were talking about this earlier. Something so cool about people who live in the middle of the gender spectrum, right? Who are neither male nor female, which I just think is the coolest, greatest thing. Because it's the best of both worlds, like in every way. And I also think there's some kind of like divine, like intelligence or like intuitiveness living on both sides that most people don't have. So like, if I had a non-binary kid, I think I would learn like a ton from them and would be very interested in that worldview and very interested in that perspective. So that could be cool. But you're not getting 3 kids, you get 1 kid.
I don't want 3, I want 2. Ilona says, your children would be so beautiful, exclamation point.
Thanks.
Yes.
They would be so freaking white.
Kiara said there's always surrogacy or adoption, of course.
Oh, Kiara, it's surrogacy 100%. I cannot.
And then Kian
I
says,
will not.
unless you end up with twins. LOL.
Oh my god.
I'll take a guy and a girl twin.
We also there's one girl name we like, and then boy names we're like, I don't know what we would name it, so we just have to have a girl. That's it. I don't know what you'd name a boy. I don't know if that's too much work.
Taylor, this next question's for you. What's your bra size?
Of course, 34 double D or 32 triple D.
There you
Girls
go.
will know that bras have sister sizes.
There you go.
So, when I wear bras anymore, which I never wear, because thanks pandemic of 2020.
Sylvia Cece says, I think a marriage doesn't change anything in our relationships. We will marry when we will have money to spend on a great party with friends. He already asked me, and I said, yes, I've got the ring, but it's indefinitely engagement.
Okay, that is my dream situation, what you just described, right there. Where it's like, here's my commitment to you. Now when we have money, we can have a party. Like, that sounds amazing. I'd be a person who had like a 50-year engagement, and then get married when I was like 80.
Liz Wade says, have you two listened to and seen AJ McLean's new video, Love Song Love?
No, I still need to listen to it.
I have not.
We love AJ.
Yeah. All right, next question. Do you ever dream about each other? She dreams about me all the time, pretty much every night. I'm not lying.
He's not lying, and it's not in a good way. I have nightmares that Chase leaves me all the time. This is like a recurring thing. How often do I have a nightmare about you doing something to like harm me or like cheating on me or like leaving me? Like 3 times a week, maybe?
Yes.
I don't know why. It's like, and it's always the dreams, the narrative is always the same way. He really hurts me and he doesn't care. When I'm like, what are you doing? You're hurting me. He's like, and? Which is so like not who you are. It's like this monster in my brain that's like, what if this happened to you?
The sociopath version of Chase.
It is I dream about the sociopath version of Chase that like doesn't
I feel
care.
like a lot of times if you're having a bad dream about somebody you love, that is who you dream of. You dream that they're a sociopath. They're not who you thought they were, and they have 0 fucks about you.
Oh my god, I always have nightmares about it. It's awful. I think it's a little bit of a PTSD response from the previous relationship that I mentioned, because everything
way more, 90%, it's because of that.
Everything that I was afraid of happening to me in that relationship happened, and it was awful. What?
Okay, Rachel says, Tay, I have the exact same thing with Josh. That's always happening to me.
Do you have it too? It's
and then
horrible.
Liz said this, ha ha ha, I never dream about my boyfriend. I dream about AJ in some very risque scenarios, LOL. That's so fucking funny.
Some risque scenarios.
I never dream about AJ.
Liz, I want to meet your boyfriend so badly, and I want to just watch you guys like interact, because I think it would be the absolute funniest thing ever on earth. I love it.
You should bring him to a convention.
Yeah,
I don't want to bring him.
He's like, wow, I'm not ever
probably
cramp my
won't.
style.
Exactly, yeah. I'll bring him.
Oh my god. No, but I don't. Sometimes you have sex dreams about me sometimes.
Yes.
You have to answer the question. Sometimes he's
Yes.
like, I
The
had a
answer
sex
is
dream
yes, I
about
do.
you, and I'm like, well, I'm right here. What you doing dreaming about it in your mind?
Most of the time I wake up and I want to have
Make
sex
a
with her.
move.
That's what happens.
Like,
Tell
here
them
I
that's
am
what happens.
lying here.
Sylvie Cece also dreams about AJ.
Everybody dreams about AJ. I can't. That's so funny.
Next question. What do you do for each other that instills mutual trust?
You should answer this one first. You have to do more work on that department than I do.
Lots of validation and words, because Taylor is more of a her love language is words of affirmation. Mine is more like acts of service and stuff like that. And hers is more words. Like, she has to hear it. And that's not how I operate a lot. I'm more of actions. Actions speak louder than words. And so me, when I'm trying to prove to her through actions, she's like, all I need you to do is just fucking say it a couple of times. So that's what I feel needs the most work from my idea is instilling more trust, mutual trust.
He leaves me
Also,
notes a lot.
yeah, I was gonna say writing like compliments
he
and
leaves
notes
me
on
notes
papers.
a lot. Yeah.
Things to
He
wake up
has. Yeah. He left me one today. I woke up and I had a little note on my desk, work area, and he was talking about like. Helps me a lot to hear when he says that you're my favorite a lot, and that really helps me. So like, you know, we have like a busy weekend coming up, or we're gonna be opening the relationship to other people or dealing with other things or whatever. It really helps me a lot to be like built up in that way, which he will do a lot. Leaves me a bunch of notes. also answers my questions. I'm a person who, like, in order to feel better, I have to have, like, information, and I want to hear something specific. And so I will ask questions until I hear the thing that I need to hear. And I don't mean, like, put words in his mouth. I just mean, like, okay, I need you to say the thing. It's never, I'm kind of literal, so it's never implied. I have to be told, and I've always been like that. Like, and the same thing goes with my friends. One of my best friends, Jen, is the only other person I've ever met who's as words of affirmation-y as I am, and, like, we communicate so effortlessly because, I mean, our text message thread, like, people would think that we're in, like, a 10-year marriage, like, the way that we talk to each other. Like, she'll hit me up and she'll just be like, hi, I was just thinking about you today, like, appreciating your friendship so much. Like, last April when you told me XYZ, it really made me feel like this. Just wanting to know that, like, I love you and I hope you succeed this week. And I'm like, that's the guy, like, and I speak the same way to her. Most people are not, they don't need as overt of communication about that, but I definitely do. So that's how Chase instills trust in me. How do I instill trust in you? I guess I can answer what I think I do that makes you trust me. I try to be really, really present with you, like, always making it known that, like, I want to see you, I want to spend time with you when he's in the room working. You know, I always pop in every hour or whatever, say hello. I try to be really gentle and soft, and, like, warm with you, especially when you feel upset or, like, aggravated. I try to be really soft and, like, gentle and, you know, like, affirming. Less so with words, but more so, you know, if he's in here streaming or whatever, I'll bring him a coffee and a cookie, or, like, you know, give him a little surprise. If I order food somewhere, I always get him something, like, just little things like that, so you know that you're always, like, my top priority. I don't know if that makes you feel trusting.
It does. Tell me other things that you pop off in your mind that you also feel that I do for you that helps you with trust. Did you say the notes? Is that what you came up with? The notes?
Notes is the big one.
I think something that I also feel a lot of that makes me more trusting is when there are non-judgmental reactions to things, like, say things about my past, you know, with other women, or, you know, if there have something that has occurred, you know, or I'm trying to tell her about something like desires or something like that, when it's a very fearful scenario to tell someone because you know it might upset them. And I guess, like, having a non-combustious reaction or something like that, in a sense that makes me feel like, okay, that was extremely unpleasant, I don't want to ever do that again.
Again,
you know
being gentle.
Yeah, gentle.
Being soft, I think, is a way. I am really sensitive. My feelings get hurt really easily, and I know that makes it hard to be in a relationship with me because unpleasant topics have to be brought up, and he knows it's going to hurt my feelings. And also, when my feelings get hurt, my reaction is very tearful. It's really hard to say something that you know is going to make the person start bawling. And so I try to tamp that down sometimes and just, like, be soft even when I feel like I want to get really upset. I try to, I don't know, what else?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't feel like I do that well at that all the time, though. Like, I try to do that, and I feel like I maybe get it 20% of the time. Work in progress, you know. I definitely, there are skills that I don't have that I would really like to have that I don't have yet. And I don't know if I will ever get them. I don't know. I feel like that's, like, I don't know. Nobody's perfect, you know, and so I feel like there are certain skills where I'm like, damn, I wish I was better at that. Handling that. I wish I was softer about that. I wish I was less judgmental. I wish I was less self-righteous. I wish I was less petty. A bunch of things like that. And maybe, you know, maybe I will be. Like, maybe those flaws will get, you know, removed the more that I work on it. But I don't know. What else? Because you said the other day, you were like, I really trust you. And I was like, I wonder why that is.
Well, yeah, again, I trust you completely in this sense. Like, I don't think you're going to go off and have some fucking affair with some guy behind my back or talking to some guy behind my back.
No.
Like, very rarely has I ever had a feeling or wondered, like, oh, I wonder if she's... No. Like, I don't feel a desire to check your phone and shit. And
I
see
was
if
just
you're
going to
hiding
say that about the phone or whatever. So we have an open phone, open computer, open whatever policy. Have all each other's passcodes and stuff. I've never actually looked through any of his stuff. Because when you know you're allowed to, then you're like, well, I don't really have anything on there. The other day when you texted me and you were like, I'm logging into your email. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't even think to be like, what for? You know, I was just like, oh, probably has to get in there for some reason. And he did. He had to fix a Google Calendar thing. But the fact that there was no part of me that was like, ooh, why? Or felt like protective over my email. I was just like, oh, okay. Or the same thing, you know, you'll grab my phone and do something on it. You'll grab my phone and, you know, reinstall an app. Or he's techie. I'm not. So I need help with a lot of stuff like that. You know, so I'll just hand over my phone. And one of the rules I think that helps establish trust is like, the rule is like, if you wouldn't do or say something directly in front of the other person, you probably shouldn't be doing or saying it. And that's like a real way that I can monitor. So it's like, there shouldn't be anything on my phone that I would not be comfortable with him reading. And vice versa. And I really believe that. Like, we can do a lot of things in front of each other. So if you wouldn't do it in front of me, you obviously shouldn't be doing it because it's some sneaky ass shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think an open phone policy helps too. And again, I never look. I can't even find where shit is on your phone anyway. I can't even, like, even if I was gonna go in there and do like a deep dive, it's like a freaking Pixel 5. I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on?
Yes.
Oh, he's a baby and I love him. Oh, he's a baby.
Ooh, is there anything you don't like about each other?
Yes. Do you want to go first or do you want me to
go first.
I don't like how defensive you get a lot of the times. I don't like how you express frustration because it's very loud. And I don't like how you drink water and make that sucking sound at the end of it. It's disgusting. That's it.
I don't like how you judge me and try to control how I drink when I drink water. It annoys the fuck out of me. I wish you'd just leave me alone and let me drink in my solitude. You don't have to fucking be around me or do anything involving with me. I'm just surviving. Stop trying to kill me. Demanding that I drink differently.
I really don't like how you judge me for the way I drink water. Respect my choices. I swear to God,
I've gotten
that water
annoyed
drinking.
before with the being tired and not like taking the dog out before, but we've already argued about that before. You know, like, and she shits on the rug. You know, I'm like, there you go again.
Yeah.
There she goes again. Like, you can tell I'm like, we almost at this point we laugh about it because one morning I woke up, I'm like, oh yeah, nice morning, and then I send her a photo of the shit that's on the rug downstairs. But see, I got preoccupied and then I forgot about it, so she wakes up and sees the photo. She's like, oh, okay. And then she comes upstairs and the shit's still there.
I was like, cool, fuck you.
Like, I didn't even clean it up. And then part of me kind of probably did it subconsciously. It was like, yeah, you're cleaning this up.
Speaking of someone, can we please look?
Oh, she's like wiped out right over there.
She's so tired. I'm
Darling
this
little baby
box
dumpling.
here. My chapstick so you can see her. Do you guys look at Worm right now?
Her eyes are open. Oh, yeah, she's
now she's awake. She was passed the fuck out. Look at her little rolled paws.
Oh, it's so nice. Such a baby.
You get annoyed at how messy I am, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. I'm
I can
a
tell.
little bit cleaner.
He's cleaner.
I've gotten messier because she's here. Sometimes it's hard for me because my clothes are absolutely.
I think that's the
everywhere.
distinguishable thing though between messy and dirty. So I am not dirty. I do not leave.
Clutter.
It's clutter. I have a million fucking papers, clothes, fucking things I stack up in my little area. A million things.
Same.
Like,
look at this.
yes,
Clutter.
I'm a clutter person. I'm not a neat person anymore. I used to be. Which again was kind of a control issue, and part of what I'm trying to do is like let go of control, but I could exercise a little more control in the messy department, and I can tell it irritates him. I do feel self-conscious about it, you know what I mean? I feel guilty about it, and yet I don't change the behavior, so like
That's why it's going to be great when we have our own place, and you have your own floor, and you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Chase has a fantasy where we have a house where
we have the common floor, we're going to keep it clean together.
We have a floor that
and
I can
my
just
floor,
destroy.
you're not going in there to touch anything or throw shirts in there. You're not going to grab my shirts out of there either. All my boxing wraps
Leave
and
my
stuff will
shit
be in
everywhere.
there. Your boxing stuff
The
will be in
makeup, you guys. I leave makeup
makeup
fucking
is-
spread. There's
No,
like
you wanna
powders.
know? Okay, you wanna know what
fucking-
annoys me about your makeup?
Tell me.
You bitched and moaned about, oh, this powder's so expensive. This powder. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Stevie knocked my powder everywhere. Fuck. And in my mind, I'm like, bitch, fucking close the fucking powder and it won't fucking go everywhere.
I'm sorry, I'm not used. Okay.
And then every time I see your fucking powder undone, out, powder all over the table, and I'm like, this bitch doesn't give a fuck about her powder. She just wanted to bitch that day about Stevie.
I do. Okay, here's the thing.
Even right now, if you go upstairs, her fucking powder was open this morning.
Powder- hold on.
And I see the powder. I'm like, the powder, the $100 powder, just open.
$38.
Zero fucks. $38 of powder.
He's never gonna see it again
Zero
because now I'm
fucks.
gonna prove a point. However, that being said, no, I spill powder when girls that use loose powder for makeup are gonna understand. Powder gets on the surface when you.
And then she leaves
put
it
it
there.
on.
Then she leaves it there.
Well, what I do is I put it back into the thing
She scrapes it off the table
and I use it again. So, but I'm not used to cats, so cats get on top of stuff and knock shit over.
play shit.
I never grew up. I'm not used to that at all. So I forget that a cat is gonna get on top of my shit and knock shit over. A dog is never gonna get on top of an
Well, never
elevated
say never.
counter.
She just knocked your can off last night. You're like, Worm, you're a bad dog.
She did, but that's on a table she tries to get on.
This worm thinks she's a cat. She tries to jump on the tables. She does, and she's a bad dog.
She's so wormy. I love her
She's a
so
bad girl, but
much.
she's nice.
What else? Anything else?
Everybody loves it though. Kiara's like, haha, this is great, calling each other out.
It's such like
Ian's like,
I cannot even with this powder thing. Now, you guys, is he ever gonna see any powder again? No, because I am such a stubborn fucking bitch. I'm gonna be like, he will never criticize me about powder again, and I'm gonna put it away. You solved your problem.
Next question is, do you ever worry about getting cheated on? We kind of
Yes.
talked about that. She has nightmares about
I have
that kind of
nightmares
stuff.
about it.
And naturally, I also have had, obviously, I think everybody, the thoughts come up. But again, I don't think I have as much of an obsessive idea of it as she does.
And to be clear, I don't think that it's not something that I think is in your nature or like a character trait that I'm like, oh, Chase is so not trustworthy. It's just the fear of that being like the worst thing that could happen and breaking like this thing that we have where I feel, because I do have some difficulty trusting and so we've come a really long way, you know, and now I really rely on you, and I'm like, if you did that to me, that would like, you know, gutted, it would be horrible.
Gutted, as Rachel would say.
Gutted, it's true, it would be awful.
Gutted. I'm gutted.
I love that.
I'm taking the piss out of Rachel right now. All right.
Yeah.
You taking the piss? We should get a follow. P. Rick, thanks for the follow. Prick.
That's hilarious.
I said P. Rick. Thanks for the follow.
I was like,
Twitch.
you didn't get Prick?
His name is Prick. P-R-I-K. How did you get that name? How does nobody have that name
That's
yet?
amazing.
That's hilarious.
How
Prick.
did you get that?
P-R-I-K.
You're so lucky.
How did you get that name? It's fantastic. Bro, why are you in my left ear? Prick says, bro, why are you in my left ear? I don't know. Maybe the headphones are broken. I'm sorry.
Oh, lol. I was like, is that a metaphor?
It says, why are you left ear? I wondered,
Doesn't know.
do you mean is it your headphones are broken, or am I the voice of your conscience? I hope I'm not the voice of your conscience.
Could be the voice of your conscience.
I'm not a very good conscience. I don't
What's
think.
on me?
Just
Something
do
like,
it.
there's
Just
like
do it.
ash on me.
Just fucking do
Just
it.
do it.
Come on, it'll feel so good.
That's
No, it's you, bruh. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Actually, I see what he's talking about. It's this right here. Watch. I'm gonna fix that. Nobody else pointed that out this entire time. Watch.
Leave it to a prick, you know?
I mean, he's the best prick that he
It's
actually...
such a good name. I love it so
Here we
much.
go. Here we go. No, wait. No. Where'd it go? Wait, where am I going? Wait. Fucking damn it.
I can't watch this.
Here it is.
My head is hurting. All right, don't watch it then.
All right. See you later, prick.
Don't come on here to then
All right. Studio
prove your
mic.
namesake.
Here we go.
There we go.
There it is.
Technological.
Now it's in both.
Sweet. All right. What's next?
All right. Next.
Tangling.
Yeah.
Tangling.
What was your most memorable date night? We've had a lot of really great date nights recently.
have had
Korean
a lot of
barbecue and stuff recently. Been
Yeah,
great.
we've been doing Thursday night Korean barbecue things. We've been trying different restaurants around LA, and it's been really nice. Like, it's just been really nice. It's been fun. I think one of my most memorable date nights with you was the first time that we actually went out to dinner. Remember to Rock Sugar?
Yes.
I was really nervous.
A little while
about
ago,
it.
one of the first times you ate in front of me publicly.
Yeah. Eating is hard. I have a thing around food, thing about things. And I remember, he asked me to go to dinner with him. It was like the first time he had ever been like, come to a sit-down dinner with me. And I was like, God, I do not want to eat in front of him. And I was really nervous about it. So instead, I just confessed. I was like, with my eating disorder, like especially at that point in my recovery, I was like, it's really hard for me to eat in front of people I'm sexually attracted to. And he was so great about it. And he was like, that's okay. What do you want? You want me to touch it, not touch it? Do you want me to get my own thing? Do you want to share something together? Do you want to sit over there, facing over there, And I really appreciated that. And now I don't have that fear with you anymore.
Yes.
What about you? Memorable date night?
No, I really enjoyed that date night. That was a lot of fun. I remember that one specifically as well. We got all dressed up and we went
did.
out. Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's going on? Is drama going on in the chat?
No, I think people are misunderstanding Prick here. I don't know. We'll see. Last question we have. Wait, is that last question?
Really?
Let me see. Wait.
We have 20. 20.
That's the last one. No, wait. No, it's not. No, it's not. Well, no, it is our last. We do have one more question.
What number was that? 19?
You don't have the number. Do you see that, right?
No, I sent the numbers on the thing. I don't know why it didn't come through when I saved it.
How do you recover when one of you hurts the other? Lots of quality time.
Yeah, lots of quality time.
Lots of love and quality time.
Lots of talking about it. Lots of
Yes.
apologizing. I feel so bad when I hurt your feelings. Like, I feel so bad. I hate hurting your feelings. And I think, just like lots of quality time, lots of I'm sorry's. Yeah.
Likewise, when you hurt, I feel it too.
Oh my God.
When it
Chase,
hurts
cry.
you, I feel it
Tell
too.
them your crying story.
The other day, I was playing a little private concert for some people, and I was playing my new song, Wild Nights, and I got to part of the lyrics that were very specific to Taylor, and I got very emotional and cried during the song.
Who was there with you for that?
I think it was Trisha Bass and one or two of her friends.
And and he like cried and then he showed it to me. I was like, thanks, babe. I know. I think the sheer horror of hurting each other's feelings is what will like prevent our relationship from going awry.
Yes.
Like it's so, when your feelings get hurt, it's like so sad and your like face gets all red and I hate it. It makes me so sad. You get all like flushed,
Do I?
Yeah, you do. Like you have an actual physical like blood rushes to the face like reaction and it makes me want to throw up. It's awful.
Good. I'm glad it's very awful when that happens.
I'm glad it's very awful for you. I'm glad it's absolutely horrible. Was that all of them? I know these were good
Those
questions.
are all the questions.
Huh?
Does anybody else have any questions?
What time is it? How much time do we
We've
have?
been on an hour and a half,
Damn, really?
and we have a lot to do today. But we'll hang out for a couple more minutes with you guys. If you guys have any other questions, we'll take them. If not, we're gonna hop off soon.
We gotta clean
Liz,
this apartment.
yeah, we do. Liz, I hope you can make the next concert. Definitely, Liz, you gotta come make more of the Patreon stuff, Patreon concerts and all that. I never see you at them.
I know, and you have your Patreon.
Kiara's
memberships.
working on a question.
Kiara's working on a question. Amazing. We always know we can trust her to come up with them.
Rachel says Josh's little brother Alex is asking if the dog is dead. No, the dog is just a little baby. And
She's
she's
passed
sleeping
out. She's
like
a
baby
worm.
girl.
Is he looking now? Should I trigger movement? Oh, we did a stretch of the worm. Oh, she's doodling. She can bite me. Hi, worm.
Oh, she's a sweet.
Oh, I love
She's
her
not gonna bite
so
you.
much.
She's
Oh,
adorable.
she's my girl.
She's sweet right now.
Oh, she's gonna growl and bite
She's
me.
baring the teeth.
She was like,
like,
don't touch me.
Kian says, how long after meeting for the second time at the Hills party did it take to change your initial opinions of each other?
Oh, it
Like,
was like
5 seconds.
a few minutes. Yeah. I
Because,
really.
I mean, the context as well was a major, like, informing moment.
I also think we talk about this sometimes. How originally,
Lene, thanks for the follow. Lene, I haven't talked to you or seen you in a while. What's up, Lene?
hello.
Good to see you, girl.
I think one of.
We'll get it, Lene. She got a question for us.
Oh, amazing. I think that what I didn't understand about Chase, and I hate that I did this because I complain when people do this about me. Because of the way he looks, I assigned him certain traits that he actually does not have. He's a lot like nerdier than I thought that you would be, and so a lot of your little quirky personality things where I was just like, oh wow, this guy thinks he's fucking, you know, hot shit or whatever. A lot of it is just his like quirky personality. And I think once I realized that, once I like understood that, I was like, oh, you're just like you're kind of just being silly and funny. You don't take yourself as seriously as I thought when he first, you know, approached me. You know what I mean? I think you probably had the same experience with me because I am so not a cold...
Thought you were a stuck-up bitch, and then discovered you weren't as stuck-up as I thought.
I'm not a cold person at all. I'm like so the opposite, but I tend to be a little with men in particular.
Closed-minded was the word I...
If I
have any feeling that you're a closed-minded person when I first meet you, I mean, I'm probably not going to be like...
And it's
have an
so
affinity to be
funny
like, hey, we're going to get along.
I'm
because
so not. But like, no, after I hung out with him for real, and we were at this same like event, and I was like, it's a very specific type of person that would attend an event like this. I realized I was definitely wrong about my first impression. And you are your little hair flip and your little swagger thing that you do. A lot of that is you kind of being like humorous and like poking fun at yourself a little bit.
Correct.
But I did not read that. I thought he was being serious and just thought he was like hot shit. You know what I mean? He still thinks he's a little bit hot shit. He does.
I'm just being me. That's just who I am. Just keep my head down.
Tiny bit hot shit. He has never keep your head down.
I'm just a humble man trying to make my way in the universe. That's it.
I'm just a humble man.
Trying to make my way in the universe. Anyway, quote that, Rachel. Quote that movie. Anyways, Lene has a question. She says, how important is public PDA? Well, what do you mean?
That's a great question. I know exactly what she means.
Thanks, Liz, for the 1,000 bits. Heck yeah.
She's a good egg.
Thanks, Liz. Heck
that
yeah.
Liz Wade, she would defend me against a crazy man in the street, and she gave us some bits.
Got those bits got those emojis and badges are on the way. I've
They're
seen them.
Really,
they look really
cute.
Cool.
They're super
They're gonna be
cute.
coming. You guys are gonna love them. They're like little animated versions
little
of me
chase
and stuff.
Faces.
Yeah.
I think I know what Lene means. I mean, what I'm gathering from that is like how important is that for us? And I'd say
I'm not the kind of person that wants to go make out with my girlfriend in public, but I'm holding hands and putting my arm around her, of course, and hugging her.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit there and like make out on the sidewalk. That's a little.
No, that's.
I think you need to have a little
unnecessary.
Yeah, it is unnecessary.
Get a room. We're 31 and 36. We live together. You don't need to be advertising, but it is important to me in the sense that I do like being with someone who's proud to be with me, and I think that PDA is a way to signify that. And also, especially because now we've lived together for a big chunk of time, and we lived together through the pandemic, we are just affectionate people for sure, and we're super affectionate towards each other, and now we're in the habit of being super affectionate, so it's hard to kind of tamp that down. But yeah, no like, I don't do any like kissing. I don't want to do any kissing in front of people. I always were uncomfortable when people did that in front of me. Like, I remember being in college, being like a third wheel on this friend's like date with this dude, and they just like made out the whole fucking time, and I was just sitting there like, am I supposed to jump in there? Like, what? Like, what do I do with this? I was just like,
makes people feel awkward. Unless you're in the correct setting. Rach, thank you, Rachel, for the 100 bits. Unless you're in the correct setting, like a sex party or something like that, I don't think you need to be doing a lot of sexual shit publicly. Why?
That's an anything goes.
I mean,
yeah.
If you're in a movie theater and you got your thing covered, and you're in the dark, it's different. But
I'm not. I haven't done any sexual touching in a movie theater for.
Been in a movie theater in a long
years.
time. I mean, been in one in a long time.
Many years. Thank you guys so
Thanks
much.
again, Rachel.
It's so sweet.
Yes. Kiara had a big question here.
Okay, let's see. Read it to me. I'm blind.
Kiara says, first of all, Liz said, Chase, you remind me a bit of Nick Carter with your nerdiness. LOL. Then Kiara says,
totally see that.
You've both said that before you got together, you thought you'd be alone and wouldn't find someone. What circumstances led you to realizing that your relationship together is different and could last long as long as it has, and hopefully forever? This was too long to send through Insta. Haha.
That's a great question. I wonder that too. I don't know how we ended up here. How did we end up here?
It's like that song I was listening to recently. It's like, I wasn't looking for love until I met you. You know, it's like, you don't really know. I think people that try to have this whole fucking plan and they have this whole cookie cutter structured idea of the guy they want or something, or the girl they want, or the relationship they want, and they're all like in their brain, like, oh, I want this, and this is how it needs to go, and then, no, the guy didn't do this, or no, the girl didn't do that, or no, it's not. And I feel like they cut themselves off. You can't get to know someone immediately. You aren't going to discover enough unless you're open enough to learn about somebody. And I think, you know, in the beginning, the sex obviously had to be great because that was the first initial thing that established us together. Number two.
That's the
first.
purpose.
It didn't work, first of all, off the first time, right? Second time we were put into an environment where I'm like, okay, now this is something we have in common, which is very interesting. Well, let's see if our bodies are in common. And it worked.
All right, that I will speak to, and I will
Body
speak
chemistry
to.
is extremely important. If you
is
don't have it, it's
extremely
not going to work
important.
out.
And I don't know if you guys are going to know what I'm talking about. I think a lot of the women on here probably will. You know, when you have sex with somebody and you're like, that worked for me, where it's like everything fits right, the heights, it's like a body thing. It's like when I kiss you a certain way, you kiss the way that I like. And I just remember, and I think you actually called it out in the moment of that first, like the first time we ever did anything physical. And you were like, yeah, oh man, like this is really working for me or something like that.
I remember, yeah.
And I like laughed because I was like, me too. And it's like, I've had a lot of those types of relationships with people where that didn't happen. And I was like, oh, this is not physically compatible. Like, you might be attractive, but I'm like, I feel awkward. It's like weird transitions. I'm trying to, our body proportions don't match up. I'm not a delicate little flower by any means. I'm not like a petite girl. A lot of men don't quite know necessarily what to kind of do there with that. Especially in LA where everyone weighs 82 pounds. Like I always felt kind of, you know, like I'm 5'7", I'm fairly tall, you know, I'm in the 150s pound wise. Like I just always kind of felt like guys didn't know how to, and he was just like, you go over there, you know? And I was like, all right, he knows what to do. He like knows his way around a woman. I'm here for this. And I think I had such a good experience. And I think in particular, it was a kissing thing. I don't love kissing people. That's never like a, oh yay, I can't wait to kiss. But I remember when we were like making out or whatever, I was like, oh, like this could go on.
Kiara asked, so it was a slow progression to realizing it was working.
It was a slow progression, yeah. And I remember the day, so like the night we met the second time, I sat at the end of the night, gave me his number, and then like the next morning was like, would you like to hang out tonight? Would you like to come over? And I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say I don't want to do that again. Like, so I went over there and we had fun and we like talked a little more. And Chase has a funny little quirk, which is that he used to do with all of his one night stands, friends with benefits, whatever, which is a massage exchange after.
Yeah, I miss massage exchanges.
Shut up, you asshole.
I wish you and I would massage more. We don't do
fuck
that.
off. So I was like, sorry, I'm not a massage therapist, and I was doing it to be nice. But I remember, yeah, I was like, it was my turn to like give you a massage or something, and so I was like massaging you when we were talking, and I was like, this is interesting, I feel fun. I was like, I feel pretty comfortable. And then you said something really hilarious to me. Do you remember what it was? Normally I don't let women XYZ. Do you remember?
No.
I don't know how to say this without being gross, but like I was still undressed, right? And so I was giving him a massage.
Oh yeah.
How do I say that without saying that like that?
I think that's a little unnecessary.
Yeah. Anyway, he didn't make me put my clothes on.
I'm a very big stickler. I'm a very big stickler about protection and condoms and like protection and being safe and all that stuff. And so when I was a single guy for the longest fucking time throughout my life, having many different partners, I'm very fucking, anal about condoms and no, I don't like anal. That's not what I'm saying. But condoms and protection. And so in any form of connection or touching that involves body parts and stuff, and there's no barrier, I would get a little like, I don't know. So I would be a little like, I don't know. But when she was there, I was like, I'm okay with you.
Not to
us
imply
touching. No, we did not have unprotected sex.
Don't do that,
not
please.
Yet.
I'm not advocating unprotected sex.
No, we did
for
eventually
people that
when we
don't
were
know each
finally
other.
together and we both agreed we were going to be the only ones doing it, which is the case.
Right.
But
basically, I was like giving a massage or whatever, and he's like, normally I would ask a woman to put her underwear back on if she was going to be massaging me in terms of like genital contact with whatever. And I remember being like, oh, and he was like, but for some reason it's okay when you do it. And I was like, is it? And I was like, I'm special, you know? But I thought it was just going to be special in that way, in like a sexy way, and we were going to be like friends who met up a couple times a week. And then it was like I kept coming over here, and I kept coming over here, and I really enjoyed my time. And then, you know, I'd be like, oh, I hope he like texts me. And he would always text me. He would always reach out to me like every day. I think there was one day that was like a Thursday where I had to text first or something. And I really liked that. I really liked that he was always like reaching out to me, and then I would get excited to hear from him, you know. And then a really big pivotal thing for me was he like went to New York for like a weekend or whatever, like with his mom, and I was bummed that he like went to New York. I was like, I really wanted to hang out this Thursday. Like, I wish he didn't leave. And then I was like, uh-oh, you know. I remember feeling, and then on that trip too, really wanting to text him, but being like, I know he's with his mom, and I like don't want to bother them and like infringe on their family time, and I really want to text him. I really hope he messages me. And you did a little bit on the trip, and then when he came back, I was like so excited for him to like get back. So then I knew something was up. Like something was up with my like feelings, you know. So when I was like, uh-oh, I think I have a feeling. And then it wasn't until like it was a very short time later, like a week or two later or something, where I like broke down and started like hysterically crying, and I was like, I just really like you. I just feel really confused. And then you were like, oh, I think it's a little more. I like you too, and I think it's a little more than like. It happened
when I said yes to go with you to Thanksgiving, two parents. That's when you cried.
Why would I was even ballsy enough to invite you to Thanksgiving with my parents? I remember crying on Danny's floor.
Yeah.
On our friend Danny, I cried on his kitchen floor, and I had like one drink. I can't even blame it on.
And we were both naked.
Yeah, and I was naked on the floor in the kitchen, but crying my eyes out. And I remember I was like, I just really like you. I feel confused. And he was like, I really like you too. And then he was like, and I think it's a little more than like. And I was like, this bitch loves me. Yes. That's what I thought in my mind. And then I was like, yeah, I have the same thing. It's just you want to go to Thanksgiving with my parents. And then you did, and you came for 5 days, I remember. And my parents were like, who's this? You know what I mean? And I was like, I didn't know if I should call him like my boyfriend. I was like, I don't know.
Listen, Chase, you have a good memory like an elephant, like me. Exactly. I agree.
Meant what he said, and he said what he meant.
Kian says, has Taylor had a chance to meet Micah yet? No, but we're going to go to it. Yes,
I've met Micah one time.
But never his fiance. But we're going to their wedding this weekend.
Next weekend. A week from today.
Yeah, a week from today.
We will be at their wedding. But yes, I met Micah once, very briefly at a convention. He was extremely nice, extremely charming. Very much looking forward to meeting his soon-to-be wife. From what I hear, she's absolutely fucking awesome. So I am feeling very excited. And that is a beautiful couple.
Yes.
I was like, Chase was like, do you want to see what Micah's, at the time, girlfriend looks like? And I was like, yes, I do. And he showed me, and I was like, oh my God! Like, that's going to be, those wedding pictures, I can't even, that's going to, mind blown, brains on the wall. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
So exciting. You guys have been so awesome. We got to get going because we got to clean this whole fiasco of apartment right now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into our relationship chat game number 3. We'll do another. Oh, Alona, thanks for the bits. Thank you so much, Alona.
Thank you.
Alona
sorry,
and
guys,
Rachel.
Guys,
and
I was
Liz.
blocking the worm. I'm so sorry. How disrespectful.
Thank you, everybody.
Block your worm view.
Check out Kiara. Thank you so much. Thanks, blowing my wad. All the bits out right now.
Blowing my
Thanks, Kiara. We love you too.
We love you guys. We appreciate you.
Keep a lookout on the schedule in the About section on Twitch. You can see the next time I'll be live, and you'll also see obviously the next event we have for streaming. And make sure and follow Taylor on all the stuff at Taylor Murphy Sinclair. She has her own Twitch page, Taylor Murphy Sinclair.
That I do nothing on and need to get motivated to do something on.
We'll go post this video over there and stuff.
Maybe if I'm motivated, if you guys are there, I'll be more motivated. I don't know. We'll see.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys so soon.
Chat with you guys this week, as we always do.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.